Good day, students. Today we're going to learn another type of graph about time. We all know that time is important to our lives, and when it comes to the development of a story or a current affair, the mass media extensively use this type of graph to give their audience a quick and clear understanding of the sequence. This type of graph is called a timeline. Before we start, let's do a little thinking. Please think about this. After you open your eyes this morning, what have you done so far? Well, I interviewed one of my students, and here's what he told me. Ken is a quite hard-working student. On the day I interviewed him, he told me that he woke up at 7 o'clock that morning. As usual, he caught the 7:30 bus so as not to be late for school. At 8 o'clock, which was when the first period began, he had a math test. After being roasted by the difficult math questions, he had his second period, chemistry. That day, they conducted a few experiments under the guidance of their teacher. When the 10 o'clock bell rang, the class was dismissed, and Ken quickly ran back to the classroom and did the classroom cleaning. At 10:20, he had his English class and read a story in class. When we have the information above, we can transfer it into a timeline. You might think, now that I can put those events in order in a passage, why bother making a timeline? Here are the two questions we're going to answer. The first question is, what is the purpose of a timeline? And the second one, how do we make a timeline? Our life is composed of various events. When we want to tell others what comes before or after another, besides the use of a short or long passage, a timeline can be a powerful kind of graph to clearly show the sequence of events in chronological order. In addition to simply showing the sequence of events, some timelines also help clarify the temporal relationships. That is, one or more factors lead to a particular outcome. There are two main types of timeline. The first one is historic timeline. It shows the progress of a historic event. The second one is event planning timeline. When you are working on a project or planning an event, you can use timelines to visualize the steps. By adding task tags along with the indicators, readers can know what to expect or what to do next. So, our next question is how to make a timeline. Let's use Ken's day as an example. There are several components. Firstly, to let readers know what the timeline is about, we need a title. Then, we usually use a line to indicate the progress of time. This line can be either straight or curved, depending on the creator's creativity or purpose. A timeline shows what happened or what will happen at a particular time. So time tags are an important reference here. It can be a date, a month, or a year. A symbol is usually used along with the time tag to make the reference clearer or more vivid. The last thing is description. It tells readers what exactly happened or will happen. Usually it is not a long or complete sentence. We will only put keywords on the timeline for the sake of clarity and simplicity. How does a passage describing a timeline look like? Here, we use Ken's day so far as an example again. Here we go. This morning, Ken woke up at 7 o'clock. As usual, he took the 7:30 bus to school. He had a math test at 8 o'clock. After that, he conducted some experiments under the instruction of his chemistry teacher. Before Ken took the English class at 10:20, he had cleaned the classroom. In this passage, we see some words that indicate the sequence of events. First of all, we see this morning, which shows that the following event or events happened in the morning. And then we see expressions like 7 o'clock, 7:30, or 8 o'clock that indicate time. We also make use of conjunctions such as before or after to show which event comes prior to another. In this passage, we also see how to use verb tense to indicate time. The last sentence of the passage says, before Ken took the English class at 10:20, he had cleaned the classroom and then had the English class. When both events happened in the past, we use past participle to indicate the action that was done before the other action. Alright, the video is about to end. We learned what the timeline looks like, its components, and an example passage to describe a timeline. In the next videos, we will learn more about other types of graphs. Stay tuned. See you soon.